Hello crafty friends, Luisa Heinzel here. Welcome back to a new video here on my channel. Welcome back to a new video with a little inspiration for my inspiration keeper journal, where I collect some painted embellishments and ephemera. So this video is a requested video, and it's something like the second part of the video before. So if you missed the previous video, please stop this video here, go to my playlist and check that out. If you are interested in the video that was the original idea of this whole stuff. So in the last video, I've shown you some stamping ideas with these little flowers here. As you can see, they are something like brown, because in the meantime I used them over and over again, and I told you in the last video that you also can do that and that you can use them several times, and I think that's a really good thing, because as I said in the last video, they came from nature and they are living things, and I like to use them more than one time when I take something from the nature for my crafty things. In this video, I would like to show you how you can do the technique from the last video on masking tape and make something like your own washi tape. So, of course, that's no new idea to make your own washi tape. Definitely not. But, what's that? No, that's no problem. But in this case, I recognized some things that perhaps you have to have in mind when you want to do that with this planned stuff to print. And I thought it's worth to do a video and to explain you that. Because I recognized when you use the StazOn ink on masking tape, it will have not the same depth of color like when you put this ink to a normal paper, for example. So that what we did the last time on white paper, it comes out like this. In the journal we worked in the last time, where is it? It came out really dark, as you can see here on these circles, and that's the masking tape I did in the meantime. As you can see, that is much lighter. When you put it to the brown paper, it's something like really muted. I think that's really nice and a nice addition to such a journal, especially because when you stick it down here, you have the original color from the masking tape, and that's something like that brings those both pages together, because this is a little bit lighter, this is a little bit darker, and here comes this lighter thing from the masking tape, and it gives me nearly the same color like this page has. And I think when you look at that, then it's something like a harmony. Of course, here not, because it's only an inspiration journal and I'm collecting my ideas here. So as I said in the last video, of course I wouldn't do this in the same way in a journal like I did it here. Of course not. But to collect things and to compare things with each other, I think it's a good idea to have this near to each other, so that you can look at it and decide, okay, do I want this and this next to each other, yes or no? Then you can put your hands here and compare it, and then you can decide if you would like to do that in your journal as it is here, or only take some elements. So because of this page is such overloaded. So let's come to this masking tape thing. I did nearly the same thing like in the like I showed you in the last video, but this time I decided to put those things here, more than one first, before I begin to stamp, so that I can get different generations of the stamping. Hopefully that makes sense. So I take my flowers and my leaves here and I put them here where I think that's great. So when a blossom of a flower is only half on your masking tape, because you can see here's the slot between this stripe and this stripe, this will be only a half print on this part and on this part. That's not so important. But when you take those little leaves here, I think I would recommend to put them on one stripe like this and not like this, because later on you can see the plant shape much better than when it's half on one and the other stripe. Oh, I destroyed my blossom. That's not so cool. Yeah, let's take this one. And as you can see, I placed them here. And as I said, even if I used them already, it's not so bad because they are pressed a little bit. I also was asked, why haven't you pressed the flowers with a flower press or something like that, or between two books? Because especially this blue and the yellow ones, they are such thin that when I want to press them, they fall apart. They stick to the sponge later, and I think this is the best way to do it. So of course you can try out different things with that, and different techniques, different ways, of course. And please tell me if you have something that's more successful or easier or something like that. So let's put this here to show you what happens when you put it in onto this slot. Yeah, if you have some easier ways, or if you're thinking, what is she doing there? That's totally too difficult or something like that, please tell me. Of course, I'm learning every day as well. And yeah, that's the thing that was the easiest and especially the fastest way for me. So I can go to my garden, catch up those things, and I can start. I don't have to wait until this whole stuff is dry. So yeah, that was an easy thing for me, and I thought that that could be good. But of course, there may be things that are easier. And when I now go over this thing, as you can see, I press these circles here, and I don't care about how this looks now. When I press, I make sure that I don't come with the sponge in my stamped blossom from before, and I go into the sponge with new ink, not with every stamping. So you can see I took new ink, and now I am going over it here, and I don't take new ink because I want this different shadings. And now I made a little mistake, so yeah, that's what I don't want it to do, that I come here into this leaf. But yeah, it's a junk journal. And I try to get different shadings of this ink, and that's the reason why I don't take new ink every time when I go into it, into the ink pad. And sometimes it can look really nice when it's only, yeah, really light and not such intensive. And the flowers and the blossoms and that stuff, of course, will stick here to your, sometimes to your sponge. Then you can remove them with your fingers very easily. As you can see here, every time it sticks here, you can remove it like this. And now you think, okay, that looks strange. I think so as well. And I thought, okay, I have no chance for these little areas here. But when you take a really small thing, put it here with a little bit of patience, with much patience. Boah, jetzt bleib da, du Ding. Arg. Für alle deutschen Zuschauer, ihr wisst, welche Wörter ich jetzt am liebsten benutzen würde. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky because when this ink is not totally dry, then you have little problems with your fingers where this shit sticks to. Now I take the thinner end of the sponge to get a smaller circle in between here. As you can see, it worked. Naja. Sometimes this works really great, sometimes not. But of course you can, yeah, take another blossom. You can try out different things. And when you found something that works great, then you can take that over and over again for these little spaces in between. Or you think, okay, I want to leave this space. I don't want to press something down there. Of course, you can also do it. And what you also can do is you can take only the sponge, take really much ink, and then turn it a little bit like this, and you will get some darker dots without stamping, but perhaps something like, yeah, a little bit more interesting thing with only a little, yeah, little amount of tools. Okay, so let's leave it like this. And then when this is dry, and the good thing is that this dries really fast, then I will take my white pen that I used in the other video as well, and I will try to give this a little bit more interest by adding those things that I, yeah, these little elements that I've chosen for the other journal pages as well. And that may seem a little bit boring when you only do this dot things, but when you use the same pattern for those practicing, so that's only practicing, nothing that will go into a journal, so exactly this, but it's practicing for something that you want to put into a journal. And when you use the same pattern, then it's, I think, easier to compare that to each other than when you would make dots here and stripes there and a little bit of doodling there. To compare this, it's easier when you use the same pattern, I think. So of course, when you are able to imagine this whole stuff with another pattern, you can do it as well. But for me, it's easier when I can do it like this and use the same stuff here over and over again. And in the same way, like, you know, perhaps this self-made washi tape with masking tape, I go over the different stripes here, so I don't care about doing this pattern only to one of those, but yeah, I go over it here, make my circles, and then later on, when I take only little parts from it, it will look really nice. Yes, it will. I'm always a little bit confused when I say that will look nice, because of course it's your personal preference if that looks nice or not, but yeah, because of that it's a little bit strange to say that, but perhaps you can leave a comment and tell me what you are thinking about this. Okay, let's leave it like this. And of course you can take other stamps, so perhaps this letters or this writing stamps that look like book page stuff or something like that, and you can stamp. You can add some splashes with watercolor. You can add brushes or whatever to make this more interesting. But, and I know that this looks, yeah, perhaps a little bit strange, because you would expect some more wow effect from me. But for this journal and for this special thing that I want to reach with this journal, so that I can collect those memories and that stuff, it's perfect. So the most simplest things are so perfect for this journal. And what I also want to say is that those things that I collect here should be things that I can reproduce in a most easy and comfortable way. So when I look at it, I don't want to spend 5 hours to reproduce my idea. So that's a thing that I haven't mentioned before in this video series, but that's a thing that came to my mind when I thought about this whole stuff. And I don't want to sit there hours to reproduce that. So what I'm collecting here should be things that are, the simplest things that you can imagine. And when you look at this, and when you look how this comes out on this eco-dyed paper, I can't believe that this is so beautiful. Can you see this little flower here that came from this masking tape? And when you press it with your finger, it's nearly invisible, and it makes such a cool effect. I think that's so cool. And when you have such things in a journal and you want to sell or gift it away, then I think this journal can be something really special, because the people will see that this is something really handmade and it's beautiful, and they can see on the first, when they look at it first, they see that's a totally handmade thing. And I think that's something really not important, but it's just a wonderful thing that it's possible with junk journaling and with doing such handmade journals, that the people have the chance to see that and to see the love and all the stuff that's behind it. And I think that's more worth than go to a shop and buy a washi tape. So for example, of course I go to a shop and buy washi tape by myself as well, because you can't make this whole stuff that you need for your journals all by yourself, of course, and you want to have a mix of this bought stuff and the self-made stuff, of course. But I don't know if you understand what I want to say with this, because it's always a little bit tricky to explain this in English. But hopefully these examples can show you what I mean. And now I have a really cool thing, don't know if you can see that, on my plastic foil, where I stick the masking tape. There was green acrylic paint, and can you see that this comes through there? So from the other side of the tape, I have this green thing here, and this is so transparent that shows through, and I think that's cool because of this whole green stuff. And those little things, I can say it only over and over again, those little things are the things for me that make a journal, a special one. So yeah, don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. I'm so in love with this tape, you can't imagine. So hopefully this made sense for you. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you will think the same things about this whole stuff like me, because that yeah, would be the thing that would make me really happy, because I always, of course, can't know what you will think about it when I come up with an idea, and when I jump out of my bed and I think, okay, I have to do this now in exactly this way that I found out this night in my brain, then I, yeah, have to do it. But I have no idea if the people out there are thinking the same about this whole stuff, and if they are thrilled like me. And yeah, if you are, please leave a comment and let me know what you are thinking about that. And unfortunately my camera can't show you what I'm seeing here, but yeah, as I said, I will take some pictures and put them to the end of the video so that you can check that out, how this looks in reality. But it's so muted and so nice. I'm a little bit proud of myself. So, okay. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this little tutorial. Hopefully you will do this by your own, and hopefully you will share your results with me. So show me what you came up with. Leave me a comment what you think, and yeah, if you have some new ideas or something that you want me to try out, or you say, oh, Louise, perhaps you can do it like this or this or this, then please leave a comment and let me know, and I will do my best to try that out or make things better. And I wish you a really, really great time until we see the next time. And I say bye-bye.